Please do be seated. Before the ceremony begins, may I ask please that if you have a mobile telephone, that you switch it off now or switch it to silent so as not to disturb those around you. As Secretary and Clerk, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's graduation ceremony. Graduation ceremonies follow a tradition that began in the 15th century, and that tradition has evolved since. Roughly translated, graduation means taking a step. And graduation symbolizes the move of the former student, now called a graduand, into a new role in wider society as a graduate, there to use the talents developed as a member of this society. Each graduand will cross the stage and shake hands with the Vice-Chancellor to symbolize their transition to this new role. And as each graduand passes across the platform, we would ask you to applaud them so that this can be an afternoon which all of us remember with pleasure. We applaud them also in anticipation of their contribution to our wider society in future. At the end of the ceremony, the Vice-Chancellor will formally admit all those who have crossed the stage, symbolizing that each and every graduate is now incorporated into the community of scholars. As new members of this community, as the academic procession leaves the stage, the new graduates will join the procession, and that will conclude the proceedings. It is now time to begin our formal proceedings, and so I hereby declare the ceremony to be in session, and I call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Michael Thorne, to address you. Vice-Chancellor.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome you all here today to join in this special day, a day in which we celebrate your achievements, the class of 2012. Thanks to London hosting what the world seems to acknowledge as the best Olympic and Paralympic Games in living memory, we are all so much more aware of the dedication, rigour and vigour which goes into sporting excellence. But perhaps fewer people realise that the journey here, from newly arrived student to the threshold of a graduate or postgraduate career, requires similar determination and resilience, and just the same support from those around you, families and friends. Graduation ceremonies like this provide an opportunity to acknowledge that support from everyone connected with your achievements and to celebrate your success. Let me give you just a taste of how successful Anglia Ruskin students have been this year, and with whom better to begin than BA Performing Arts student Alicia Morton, who danced in the opening ceremony of this summer's Olympic Games, and sports coaching student Danny Williams, who competed for the British judo team. The prestigious Macmillan Prize for Children's Picture Book Illustration has been won for the third successive year by a student studying on our MA in Children's Book Illustration. Creative Writing graduate Caddy Benyon has won the Crawshaw Prize for Poetry for her collection Milk Fever. And despite being only 2/3 of the way through his BA in Computer Games and Visual Effects, James Avery is already making a name for himself in gaming. Having been headhunted by Cambridge-based gaming company Frontier Developments last year, James has just seen the release of his first video game, Kinect Disneyland Adventures, a collaboration with Microsoft Game Studios and Disney. In the IBM Universities Business Challenge, the leading business simulation competition in the UK, the winning team was from our business school, who beat off competition from 304 teams from 73 UK universities. Dr. Mohammed Izzuddin Herol, who completed a PhD in the Department of Vision and Hearing Sciences in 2010, and who now works at the National University of Malaysia, has been named as Outstanding Young International Scientist by the Malaysian government. Liz Blaymeyer has won first prize in the Nursing and Midwifery student section of the Health Watch competition, which is aimed at promoting the critical appraisal of research and encouraging evidence-based practice. Our sports teams did well too. We are now the leading university in Great Britain for men's judo, having been British universities and colleges champions for the last 2 years. In rowing, we continue our rise up the tables and are now ahead of Birmingham, Manchester, and University College London. As Anglia Ruskin graduates, we know that you will be in great demand. The most recent statistics show that 89.6% of our students were in work or further study within 6 months of graduating. Remarkable figures in these troubled times. 4 out of 5 go into jobs classified as professional or managerial, with a median starting salary of £21,000. And the number of our students starting their own businesses is also increasing year on year. I have no doubt that our students' success in the world of work stems directly from our close relationships with such international brands as Timberland, Specsavers, UPS, Harrods, Volvo, Wilmot Dixon, Barclays Bank, and the RAF, for all of whom we deliver degree-level programs in the workplace. We have 8 officially world-leading research areas. They are Allied Health Professions and Studies, Geography and Environmental Studies, Social Work and Social Policy and Administration, Psychology, English Language and Literature, History, Art and Design, and Music. Building on these magnificent achievements, our academic staff and their researchers and research students have also enjoyed a very successful year. Our Postgraduate Medical Institute now offers 2 master's degrees in surgery and has established a clinical trials unit, which, in its first 6 months, has secured contracts with a number of the world's most well-known medical innovation companies worth more than £4 million. Professor Rupert Bourne of our Vision and Eye Research Unit is leading the Vision Loss Group for the World Health Organization's Global Burden of Diseases study, and is now working with the University of the West Indies in Trinidad and Tobago to conduct their first national eye survey in 80 years. In little more than a year, our Global Sustainability Institute, established from scratch by Dr. Alid Jones, has grown to a team of 15, with research income in excess of £1 million from central government, research councils, Europe, foundations and business. This